back to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup. A cup where XL Pokemon are not allowed and also legendaries are not allowed. So this cup is pretty easy, accessible for most people at least, and usually one of the most fun one because it's not really about all the bulk here, but more about trying to KO the opponent fast, as you have a lot of new moves available in this meta. It's a lot of fun usually. So let's take a look at the meta real quick, what changed with the move update, and in general like which Pokemon came in since this cup was available, because I don't think it was available last time. And let's take a look at 5 top teams that you can run in this cup. Taking a look now at the meta, you're going to see here that Trevenant, Nidoqueen, Swampert, and also something like Dragonite going to be very popular there. Trevenant is actually pretty easy to get, and also we're going to have the Halloween event soon, but I guess you still most likely have one, also from like recent Go Battle League rewards they were available there. Nidoqueen is an odd one because you really want an XL Nidoqueen for the Open Ultra League, so building another one which is a 100% version here, I'm not 100% sure if you really want to do this here. You need a Hundo at level 40, which is very expensive, and I don't know if you really want to do it. Swampert is a no-brainer, as you can use it in the Open Ultra League and basically in every Ultra League format, it's always good. Dragonite now has access to Superpower, which is gonna boost this Pokemon a little bit up. Also Como-O is good, but Dragonite is just a little bit better, actually like a lot better in my opinion. We have a new Pokemon here like Sneasler, which is going to be interesting, as this Pokemon has access to Shadow Claw, going to be able to have a lot of neutral matchups and going to be able to hit hard with the close combat and the bait Scissor here. We're going to see something like the Lux right now as well, having access to the Psychic Fangs, and the Shadow version especially here, going to be very good. Steelix is basically the same as the Nidoqueen. I wouldn't really expect it to see it a lot because you need a Hundo at level 40, so that's something that a lot of people don't really have because they have the XL version for the normal Ultra League. Otherwise, there are some other good Pokemon. Snorlax going to be one of the best safe swaps. Galate was always cool. Warren is still strong, don't underestimate a Warren here. And we can take a look at Ascav. Ascav going to be one of the most common cores together with the Dragonite again. Very common core there. And we see also Gliscor. Gliscor is going to be one, or Gliscor, whatever you want to say it, going to be one of the best counters to a lot of the meta picks like the Ascav, like the Nidoqueen, like the Trevenant. You see a lot of Pokemon that it beats. Of course, Swampert are going to be a problem, but this Pokemon going to be very nice, especially as a lot of fighters are in the meta. I think Magnezone, which was one of my favorite picks back in the day, will kinda fail, to be honest. There are a lot of fighting types available, a lot of grass types available, a lot of ground types available, so I don't really think it's going to be as good. Blaziken going to be amazing, Crobat going to be amazing, and otherwise you're going to have the Charm users, which are also going to be very, very strong. And I think there is like stuff like Lapras that you can still run, but going further down, you see a lot of Pokemon that need kinda XL for the normal Ultra League, so you don't really want to build it like the Blasters here as well. So yeah, this is kind of the meta for the league. The first team we're going to take a look at going to be a very toxic team here. We have either something like the Empoleon, or also you could use the Obstagoon in the lead, and I'm not really the biggest fan of Obstagoon in the lead, but also mainly the Waterfall version of Gyarados in the lead here with 2 Charm users in the back. This was basically one of the most common versions that we have seen before. That's why I basically put it in there. I saw that also a lot of on Twitter that people complained about this before, so yeah, this will most likely be a thing again. Double Charm is always strong in metas where the meta is not really bulky and not really based around steel and poison types. You still have to be careful about Nidoqueen. That's why you have the lead here, and there are not a lot of good steel types in this meta. Like you have the Empoleon, you have an Ascav, which you can actually beat with a Togekiss pretty easily. And there are not a lot of other steel types around, so yeah, like this team going to be very, very strong. Sadly, to be honest, like I don't really like Double Charm, but it just is very strong, so nothing really we can do here, but this is going to be definitely one of the top teams that you're going to encounter a lot of times. The next team going to be based around Sneasler, a Pokemon that is most likely having to have the biggest impact into this new meta here. Having access to Shadow Claw, Close Combat, and Scissor will be a pretty decent moveset for this meta. We have an Ice type in the lead, trying to counter those flying types that you don't really want to face with this Sneasler. I think Sneasler is a very decent safe swap in this meta, as you still have the sub-poison typing, and I don't really see a lot of psychic types coming in here, maybe Gallade, which will completely annihilate you, but it's fine as well. And then you have the Dragonite in the back, which is going to be able to also counter now steel types with the superpower as a move, which is going to be pretty nice. The ideal lead here would be the Sandslash, but a lot of people won't have the Sandslash, as this is one of those Pokemon that really kinda want to have XL candies, and you don't really have a lot of people who have a level 40 100% Sandslash available. So then you can also use something like the Walrein or the Lapras. The third team is actually, I think, my favorite team out of them all, and this team is based around the double fire core in the back here. You can actually run also the Typhlosion instead of the Blaziken, but Blaziken is a little bit better in my opinion, just because of the better fast move damage with counter, giving you a little bit more access to like damaging those crazy steel types there. Of course, Incinerate Typhlosion is still fine, but it's a little bit slower than the Blaziken. That's why I like Blaziken a little bit more. And this team looks on paper at least basically perfect. You have a lead here that's going to be able to beat those flying types, which Blaziken doesn't really want to face. Also going to beat something like the Swampert, which Blaziken doesn't really want to face. And then you have a Sazorp here that's going to be the Charizard, which either has to have the Wing Attack, which is in my opinion the preferred moveset here. I like the Charizard with the Wing Attack in this meta. Like, I think Charizard with a Wing Attack is definitely the way to go here. If you have a Dragon Breath version and you don't want to TM it away, Dragon Breath is also fine. I think Ember and also Fire Spin would not be the ideal way. Either go for Dragon Breath or the Wing Attack, preferred the Wing Attack. Main reason for this is you kinda need to have an answer for Dragon types. Dragon types going to be pretty common. The Wing Attack gives you a little bit more of a play against other like neutral Pokemon as well. And the main idea here is as well, you have your lead here that's going to be easy countering all those Dragon types in the current meta. And you have your Charizard as a Sazorp, which is going to be a pseudo Dragon type with either the Dragon Breath or the Ring Attack plus the Dragon Claw, which is going to threaten those Pokemon pretty easily. And then you can avoid those mainly flying type Dragon types for your Blaziken and try to sweep in the end game. I think this is one of the best teams that you can run. I think this will be also my team that I really want to run next, but yeah, this is definitely one of the best that you can run right now. The second to last team here going to be a little bit interesting. We have the Gliscor in the lead, or the Gallade. Depends on really what you want to play. You have the Snorlax as your main Sazorp here. Snorlax is going to be one of the best and safest Sazorps in this meta. Going to be able to allow you to get either shield advantage or the switch advantage a lot of times. Snorlax, also the Shadow Snorlax, going to be very, very strong. Also for the leads, you can use the Shadow versions as well. And then depends on what you want to run in the back. If you have the Gliscor, maybe you want to run something like the Ascav in the back. Gliscor itself will not be able to really deal that well with something like the steel types, but you're going to be able to deal with something like the Ascav, which is going to be nice, as well as the Snorlax is going to be able to do this. If you have the Gallade in the lead, you might want to run something like the Alolan Muk or the Venusaur in the back. Those two are also really, really nice for it, because those are answering something like the Charm users. So depending on really what you want to run in the lead here, this might be, it's more like a team 4 and 5 here, to be honest, because it's more like two teams based around the Sazorp of Snorlax. And yeah, both of those should be pretty fine, and I think they are very, very good. I'm really curious on how good Gliscor going to be. I think that's going to be one of the coolest meta Pokemon in this new meta. The final team is around the Luxray, which now is also a Shadow variant, which seems to be very good in this meta. We're going to have the classic backline here with Trevenant and the Walrein. Pretty lame, but pretty effective, as both of the Pokemon in the back are countering those ground types that you don't really want to face. I'm pretty sure you should run something like the Walrein as a Sazorp here. Really depends actually on what you face in the lead. For example, if you face a Nidoqueen in the lead, you really want to run the Trevenant as a Sazorp here, because the Walrein is your harder answer. If you face something like a Swampert in the lead, you want to run the Walrein as a Sazorp, as the Trevenant is your harder answer. Basically, the Sazorp here is pretty I don't know, like it depends really on what you face in the lead, to be honest here. So yeah, this is going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm still a little bit sick, so if it was a little bit different to what I usually commentate, it's still a little bit difficult for me to make videos, but hey, it's going to be alright. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye!